college, and he went to the Morehouse College. And once he left there, he went to Howard University and got his law degree. But you never thought he was an attorney because he never act like an attorney. He always had funny things to say, always cared about people, and his jokes about other lawyers. It was really great to be a friend of Delano Stewart. And I was going to call him Daddy D. We called him Daddy D because he was so much fun. He knew how to handle his business, took care of his children. So today he was here to support Dad, and we're very proud because being a native Taffet, he knows everybody. Nobody do not know Daddy D. If you ask about Daddy D, they say, yes, I know him. So I'm very happy to introduce Delano Stewart.
Thank you, Gwen, also known as Cat. As she said, I am a native of Tampa, and I've had a lot of nicknames. Started with Share Skin, then I was Russ, then I became Daddy D. I am here today because it's important that we elect Narain. And why is it important? A monarchy means that one person decides what to do. An oligarchy means that a few people went outside the boundaries of Tampa to superimpose their will upon us. But sovereignty in a democracy always resides in the people. And we are the people. And we're going to show Alex Saint and Betty Castor and Athenia Joyner, all of those people who met and decided that we needed someone from Tallahassee rather than someone from Tampa. And the way that we win, you win in every barber shop, beauty shop, every house, whether it be in the inner city, outer city, the projects. We the people.
That's right.
In a democracy, it is the people who makes the decision. Why Ed? Now, Ed is a native of this town who's married to a young lady who teaches school, and he has 2 daughters. But even more important than that, he was a member of St. John Progressive Church, where Reverend Bartholomew Banks is the pastor. And then the man comes in this town and joins the church and attempts to preempt him, but God sees through it all. Believe me that he does. Ed was singing in the choir, serving the church before the carpetbagger, if you will, decided to come in. So, what I'm saying to each of you, the way we win is not by talking, but going to every barber shop, every beauty shop, every church, knocking on doors, and see that we send Sean Shaw back to Tallahassee with his daddy. A lot of people ask me, they say, Dale, you and Jerry Shaw were installed in the Hall of Fame together. And that may be the problem. Everything that glitters like gold isn't gold. And so therefore I'm going to say to you, when David told Saul he was going with Goliath, and they looked at him and said, a little boy. But David knew that he had God on his side, and therefore he was going to win. And I'm saying to this audience today, we know that Ed is our David, and those people who think they're Goliath will have a lot of knots on their head when we finish with our slingshot. Thank you very much.
Well, I don't think I need to say anything else. Thank y'all for coming out. God bless and good night. I have to say I am honored to have the support of community leaders, but not just any community leaders. Community leaders that have made a difference here in Tampa, but also made a difference statewide. Gwendolyn Miller, as all of you know, is the first African-American elected citywide to the city council, and pretty much any elected official here in the city of Tampa. Of course, we know Mr. Stewart is one of the stalwarts of the legal profession. I think if you're a black attorney and you came up through the state of Florida, you at some point in time, you either interned with him or you worked through his offices. I think you're responsible for more judges than some of the bigger firms here in the state of Florida. So we thank you for your support. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that Ms. Doris Ross Reddick is here. She is the first African American that was elected, not appointed, elected countywide to a position here in Hillsborough County. And I didn't come here to talk about history, but we have a lot of history in this room. So those of you who are from my generation or below, make sure that you're talking to these folks to understand that we're in the Open Cafe today because of the trails that they blazed for us. I want to start by saying I'm very proud to be here at the place where this journey began a little over a year ago. When we were talking about it as a team, about where we wanted to be last year for our announcement, the Open Cafe was the place that came up early and often. It's a special place here in our community that's doing some really great things. And to be here a year later, I'm honored to be in a place that gives back so much to our community. As Mr. Stewart said, my name is Edwin Narain, and I'm here to ask for your support for the Florida House District 61. But first, I'd like to tell you a story. It's a story about two young immigrant children who moved to the United States in the early 1970s. One was from Guyana, the other was from Honduras. They met and they fell in love. And they decided to get married. The couple, they were hard workers. The husband, he was a bus driver. The wife was a secretary for the police department. And they had 3 sons. And of those 3 sons, they taught them the value of hard work and of faith and of taking care of others. But it wasn't easy. In order to keep their family safe, they made a decision to move from New York City to Fort Lauderdale, Florida in the early 90s. But for that family, they had to start completely over. All of the members of the family had to work. They had a business at the flea market where they repaired and sold clocks. And basically, they had to work harder than they'd ever worked in their lives. But yet, through all of that struggle, they still found the time to make it into church. In fact, that family was blessed enough to start a small church where they ministered to the lost and they fed the homeless. Today, that family and that immigrant couple in particular have been married for 40 years. They're my parents. My younger brother Marty is a deputy sheriff with Broward County for the last 18 years. My baby brother Garen is a vice president with a major sports organization in Atlanta. Both are married with daughters. And of course me, I've been here in this community for 20 years, married to my lovely wife Monica, with our 2 daughters who are at home giving our mother-in-law some fits right now, I'm sure. But somebody out here in this audience is saying, why does any of that matter to me, Ed? Why does that matter? Well, I'm going to tell you why that matters. I believe you can tell a lot about a person when you know where they come from. I believe you can tell about a person when you know their upbringing, their moral fabric. And yes, this is a story about me. But most importantly, this is a story about why I'm running for office. Because I believe that public service is still, or at least it should be, a noble calling. I believe that when we elect leaders who share our values, who come up and understand our trials and our tribulations, that contrary to what people out there say, our government can work. You see, I've worked my whole life, just like my parents did, to provide a better life for me and my brothers, just like 99% of you, because life is not given to most of us on a silver platter. And I'll be honest, more self-serving, well-heeled politicians that drop into our communities and pretend to be a part of it, they're not going to be able to educate our children. career politicians who drop into our community to restart a failed political career, they're not going to be able to give us back the confidence in government that we deserve. So I'm running for state representative because I believe that ordinary people can accomplish amazing things when we choose to work together, and we realize that the common ground that we share is much greater than the smaller positions that we don't. And I know for a fact that we can positively impact lives right here in this community through love, through education, and through local economic empowerment. So my plan as your state representative is to continue the work that I've been doing right here in this city for the last 20 years, whether it's been with the Children's Board, the Head Start Policy Council, with Kappa Alpha Psi, with the Community Action Board, with the Guidewright Foundation. I will continue to do the work that I've already been doing because I didn't just show up.
No, sir. Go ahead.
My plan is to continue to work and to fight for our children, to get our kids the education that they deserve. You see, because it's the 21st century, but we're still teaching 20th century methods. And all of you know, if you know anything about me, is that I'm going to fight. I'm going to fight for fairness in our justice system, fairness in our electoral system, and most importantly, fairness in our healthcare system. So, thank you. 1 year ago this month, I stood in front of all of you to ask for your support. And I knew for a fact that the community was going to support me, but I had no idea the levels to which it would. So I am pleased to share that yesterday, we received notification from the Florida Department of Elections that we have exceeded our petition goal and qualified for the August ballot. Not only did over 1,300 people sign a petition to get us on there, not only are we the fastest to the ballot, but each and every one of you helped to get us this far, this fast. Some of you took your petitions to your neighbors. Some of you took it to your family members and asked them to sign. Some of you took it to your church members and asked them to sign. Some of you chose to walk with me through the streets of this district and talk to complete strangers and ask if they would support me to represent our community in this fight in Tallahassee. So the words, thank you, are just not enough. So now that we have qualified, there is only one thing left for us to do. And that is to win. So if you believe, like I believe, that people are smart enough to see through 12 months of photo opportunities and are going to jump on top of 20 years of genuine service in this community, if you believe that it's time to take our community forward, if you believe that it's time to put the people in front of the politics again, I'm asking you to go out there and talk to every one of your neighbors. Talk to your church members again. Drive your co-workers out to the polls this August 26, 2014. Let's change this community and this state together. Thank you all for coming out, and I can't wait to celebrate with you on August 26th.